Hi everyone, I'm going to try to show you how I made these little house ornaments and tag with memory box new dies. This house frame is pretty much the front and basic, you need it. And it has crease lines in it, and those are also helpful so you know where to place your different levels. And it also comes with this cute little fence and gate. And I used the fence and the gate on my snowman one, and I just placed it like that right in the center and glued it right on top. And you can see that here. It's so cute. I wish you could see them in person because they're so, I don't know, dainty. That's probably not the right word, but they're just really detailed and go together so nicely. So you use this. Now, I popped this out and I did not use it for the snowman, but you can use this, you know, to cut out your fences, your parts. You know, I use these. I don't throw them away. So, excuse me, you're going to fold this on this first crease and on this last crease, because this will be, you'll hook your back to that, and your, make sure I'm in the picture here. And I do use my bone folder and crease these. Then, let's see. So I don't know that you can see those lines, but you really can when you're working on them in person. And if you wanted to, you could crease those also. And I did on one of them, but I didn't really like the look of that, but it did make it easier to put it together. This one, you can see I did not score them. So then after you have the front, then there is this background. And at first I thought, oh, you know, what are these pieces for? And then it dawned on me that it could be a birdhouse. So that's when I decided to make this tag like a birdhouse. But what it cuts is just this plain background, and then those other pieces if you want them. And this I used on the back of all of them. And some of them I bent it over and glued it inside. And this one I ended up cutting it off. And maybe this one I cut it off too. So sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. This one, I left it and I glued it inside, but I trimmed off the bottom. I cut off one of those 1/4 inch pieces because I didn't want it as thick. It's only one layer. So you can do a little manipulating and make it do whatever you want it to do. And you can glue this on the inside like that, or outside if you want the snow hill to show. So that's what you get with this background, which I would hate to be without that myself, because if you try to get by without it, you've got to figure out how to tape this together, you know, to make the back, and I don't know. It's just worth it to get that too. So here's the Nativity house frame, and all these fronts are pretty much the same. And how I used these, I guess I didn't die cut this one, but I did the snowman one. So I'll show you that. They all have this crease on the bottom also. And I used these with the front. So you can either bend it forward or back, and then you adhere it inside like that. And however many of those you want, well, 1, 2, 3, if you wanted 3, but it works really slick. So that's the front. Okay, this goes back with the snowman because the snowman has the snow hill. So there's just a little variation with all of them, except the nativity is just straight. You can see it in there, right here. And that I just adhered Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus right to that. I did layer it up. I glued 3 together because I liked that stability of it that way. Now, if you didn't want to tie these together, if say you're going to mail this, I would leave this out, and then you can just kind of fold it. It would a type of accordion fold up like a box card, and then whoever gets it, you'd have to tell them, how to tie it together. Or you could just leave it, put your cords in there and just leave them loose, and then they could tighten it up when they got it. So that's the nativity. The snowman one has the, this piece, which I did not use because I just used the backer. This one right here. I used that to do my inking, and I did trim off that bottom 1/4 inch, and I used I left this piece back here, and I don't know if you can see that in there. I left that in there so it looked like snow on the ground, like a layer of snow. And then I put the fence on a layer and the snowman on the snowbank that actually came with it. So I did add, this looks like I don't write this stuff down when I'm doing it. It looks like the nativity scene layer that I glued the fence to. So they mix and match really nice. And I just, pieced the snowman and the trees together and glued them on there. So sweet. And on my blog, I say a little bit more about how I did that. Then I'll show you the gingerbread house frame. And it's a little different. There's a lot more pieces. And when you die cut this die, it ends up looking like this, which I was like, oh, I need to look at the envelope. So pull out the envelope. Oh, okay. So I did not use these 2 pieces. I used the front. I used this piece right here, and then I guess I did use those pieces. Sure enough, I did. So I used all 3 of these pieces that are on the inside. And this, see, because it just has that 1/4 inch, so it's this layer here. So I used my outside frame again. But what I did to get this little white strip was I ran this die through just with a small piece of white up against here, so then I would get just that perfect cut to fit right there. So after you've got these pieces in here together, then you're going to cut your snow, and your window trim and shutters, and you're just going to glue those right on top, you know, whatever pieces you want to of those, of the combo. Let's see, so here's the door, and here, this, it looks odd here, but this little piece around here is that little piece that's around the door, that piece of trim right there. So you can use it or not use it, but I liked it. And the same with that window, that little piece of trim there, which is, where's that on here? Oh, okay, so it actually is with the shutters. It's just so skinny, it's kind of hard to see. So, and I use that because I was following the envelope. Let's see. But really, it really isn't hard. It just took a little bit of figuring out. I like the icing. There's 2 things of icing here, and I use those back in there on that main piece. And this is the one that I trimmed down. And then my backer, I glued inside. You know, I folded it in and glued it to the front that I shortened. So I cut off this and one of these to make this so it wasn't as thick. See the difference? I didn't think about that when I made the Nativity one, but you know, it doesn't bother me. But when I made this one, it just seemed so empty back there. And I thought, oh, I'm going to cut that off. I can fix that. So I did. So that is what I did. Oh, here's the birdhouse tag. I really like this. I don't know why, I just like tags. And so I cut the heart out, the heart that was in that backer die. Here it is. And it cuts out the frame. And I glued it flat to the back, and then I used mounting tape so that there'd be a little bit of depth, not a lot. But I think this would be really fun on a present or just hanging out the tree. So easy. So this is what I've made so far with these fun new dies. And I always love making ornaments, and I really like it when they turn out good enough to hang on the tree. Thanks for stopping by today. Bye.